Okay, look into your own response. All are there? Okay.
Yeah.
So let us just look at, let me. Yeah. So appraisal. What did you all score?
Skill.
So you can actually give a nice. Okay. Body
Yes.
language, very obvious. So I'm not even.
Yeah.
Coaching.
Skill.
Okay. Commitment.
Yeah, value.
Value.
Yeah.
Yes. Both the groups value. Somebody is not speaking up.
Yes, both for us
Both,
also
both,
values.
yes,
Yes,
yes. I
yes.
was on mute.
Then we are talking about confidentiality.
Values,
Values,
Great. Counseling.
Skill.
skill,
skill,
Courtesy.
Value.
behavior.
values.
Courtesy could also be a behavior, to be very
Yeah.
honest.
Both,
Yeah,
both,
but
I think
more
we
importantly,
put both.
we put
leads
both.
towards courtesy. Courtesy is more
Yeah.
importantly as a value. If you notice, some of the organizations will write courtesy as one of the values.
Yes, yes.
That means you are very, very, you show courtesy to your vendors, to your customers. Customer care, obviously.
Skill,
Skills and behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
skill,
Data facility.
skill,
Skill,
Data
facility.
facility, I said.
Okay.
Means you're
Okay.
actually,
We
it's a kind of a behavior. When you're doing it, you're doing a facility. Facility is a behavior. Are you differentiation? Facility is a behavior.
Ma'am, could you give an example for this?
Like for example, okay, housekeeping people, they give you a certain housekeeping facility, no? That's a behavior, right?
Okay.
Keeping everything clean and all that.
Okay.
Hmm,
Got it. Got it.
Fine.
Decisiveness,
Behavior,
behavior,
Behavior.
detail handling,
skill,
skill,
detail
handling.
handling. It could be I mean, I for detailing, it's a behavior and also it can become but more importantly, it's a behavior. Some people, when you're driving, you are looking at small details, etc. If there is a speed breaker coming, if there is too much of traffic coming, think of that. It's a behavior.
Okay.
Are you getting me? I showed you some differentiation. Huh? When you're doing a job, it could be a skill, but watching out for certain details is a behavior.
Yes, so if the behavior is absent, you
Payroll.
cannot actually train somebody to do a good
Payroll
job.
guy.
Yeah.
If he is not looking at certain details, he can mess up a lot of things and give more salary to somebody and less salary to somebody, and help desk, payroll help desk will have tough time having everybody sitting on his head. Why did you give me less salary? Driving for quality.
We put as values.
values, skills, and behavior.
It's a behavior. Importantly, driving for quality is a behavior. Environmental awareness, of course, is a value. Equal opportunities.
Value.
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 Honesty
Yeah.
is a value. Influencing.
Skill and behavior.
Influencing, yeah. Initiating action.
Behavior.
Behavior.
Integrity. I don't have to even ask. Interviewing.
Value.
Don't have to ask.
Value.
Judgment.
Skill.
No.
No.
It's a behavior. When you are interviewing, you are judging something. That's a behavior. It's not a skill. Okay. Managing meetings.
Skill.
It's a skill.
Skill.
Mentoring. Skill.
Skill,
Monitoring. Skill.
Skill.
Negotiating.
skill,
Yes. Then performance review.
The monitoring, you have mentioned behavior.
Pardon?
Monitoring actually. you have mentioned
Monitoring is a behavior. Yeah. Mentoring is a skill. Please understand what is behavior, what you can see, observe.
Yeah. Okay. Monitoring is a
Can you
behavior.
observe monitoring? Can you see monitoring?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes. Obviously, we can see how.
So
it's
that is behavior. Whatever you can see is behavior.
Okay, right.
Whatever I can observe in a person is behavior. Got it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Got it. Got it.
Planning,
It's a skill.
Skill.
Behavior. No, but you have mentioned behavior.
planning is
Planning.
also is a skill. Yes, you can say, but it's more of a behavior because you can actually see a person what he is doing.
Even persistence is a behavior.
Absolutely. Persuasiveness. It can also be a behavior. Then presenting.
Skill.
Skill.
Presentation is a behavior, is a skill. Presenting is a behavior. You are presenting something. You can see something. You can observe something.
Here is skills.
Here is skill actually.
Presenting is a behavior.
Presenting is a tick is on a
Presenting is
skill.
skill. Take
According
skill.
to. So we all.
And why am I saying why in competency very, very important, and why I gave you this exercise? Because when we are doing competency mapping and when we are doing assessment center, I have to actually see, I have to observe his behavior. If I'm not able to make out what is behavior and what is a skill, then how will I able to make a record of it? Are you getting me?
Right.
Very important. Whatever you can observe, whatever you can see with your eyes like a video is behavior. So now you tell me, can you see problem solving? Just I want to know. I'm giving you another, playing a devil's advocate. Can you see problem solving? You can't see problem solving, but that's a skill. But there are several things he will do when he's doing problem solving.
Problem solving.
That is
Yeah.
behavior.
Okay.
Okay.
Very clear now? When I'm doing problem solving, I may ask questions to Lena saying that, no?
Correct.
So asking questions. Got it very clear, guys? We'll carry on. Quality consciousness is a value.
Value.
Yeah.
Reliability is again a
This is
value.
value.
Reliability can be behavior also,
Behavior
right?
also, right?
Which one?
Because reliability.
Reliability. What is that you do to, can you see reliability?
I can see probably like, no, if a person has
What he
done
does,
some-
what he does as a part of reliability is behavior.
yeah. If
But
he has done,
reliability is not a behavior, but what he does to show that he is a reliable person is a behavior.
okay.
Now, selling, you can see selling is a skill.
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 But
Skill.
to sell, you may say, no, ma'am, but selling can be a behavior. No, there are a lot of things he will do as a part of selling. That is a behavior. Like how does he do customer handling? That's a behavior, no?
Yes.
Are you now clear? I'm trying to just give you that differentiation of a skill and a behavior. Strategic planning. There are several things you will do to do strategic planning, no? That is
Correct.
behavior.
Yes.
So strategic
But-
planning itself is a skill.
Skill. It's a skill. Yeah.
Planning is a behavior. Strategic planning is a skill.
Yeah.
Is it?
Stress tolerance is a behavior, no?
Behavior.
Because if I'm going to give a 100-watt,
Shock.
press it shock to him,
Yeah.
what he does. So
That we
okay,
can see.
team working again is a behavior. Then time management is a skill. So there are several things he will do as a part of time management, right? Prioritizing, things like that, lot of things. Yeah, Leena has a question.
Ma'am, I think I am getting the essence of it. What the main difference is the process of something, if can be seen, it is a behavior. While
Behavior.
process of something is not seen, it's a skill. So when
No,
we
so
plan,
I will put it like this, yeah, but might be a little difficult to comprehend, Leena, when you put it in little Tarur language like process. Sorry, simply to understand behavior. Whatever I can see with my eyes is behavior.
yeah,
Can I see that? Simple. Why? As an assessor, if I'm not able to see something, what is doing, how can I record that observation? Am I able to observe? Am I able to see what he's doing? That is behavior, right? Yes, he is nodding his head. I may nod my head for something else. That does not prove that I'm listening. Okay? Nodding is a behavior, right?
that's how planning is a behavior, whereas strategic planning, which is strategic cannot be
It's
seen.
output.
So I
And
think that's how it is skill.
yeah, output, na? And there are a lot of things which go into that strategic planning.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, very clear, guys, because as we go deeper, then you have to understand very, very clearly what is behavior, what is skill, etc. What is the value, right?
So like ma'am, persuasiveness is a behavior or a characteristic which can be seen, but in influencing is a skill.
When you are influencing, you do several other things, no?
But persuasiveness has to be at the bottom of that.
Exactly. If you are not persuasive,
Yeah,
you can't even influence.
you are not.
Huh?
Yeah, so you can't influence.
So, say for example,
So
my
influence
skill
is the
is
outcome.
my skill is a very good facilitator, but there are certain behaviors for those facilitator, right? Facilitating skills are skill. But what are those things? What I do? That's behavior. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
like-
Can I close this?
Yes, yes,
Can I
yes.
close this? All right.
Got
It was nice,
got
ma'am.
got
Thank
got
you.
it, got it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Clear screen. So somebody has done a good job, is it? Huh? Both the groups have done good job, looks like. Okay. So with this, we are actually concluding. I mean, about competency, because then we'll go to the the next one. I'll just show you this one slide why competencies. One second. I in fact told you also about this, that why competencies matter, because they have this cause and effect relationship that is called causal. So if you have this competency, like for example, simply achievement motivation is a competency. A person with high need for achievement motivation, say for example, Shamir is a person who is motivated highly for achievement. So then he will set up his goals. He will actually take personal responsibility of reaching those goals. He will use feedback. He will take that risk also and ensure, so he will do all these things of reaching that goal. If you have a high need for motivation. So it all goes to conclude saying that, hey, if you have competencies, it will definitely lead to superior performance. Got it? At least it will assure you. Okay. Now that is about the competency. Now we are looking at, when we talk about it, we are talking, and I also told you we are talking in terms of not what you have as a person competencies. We are talking about what are the competencies required in an organization. What are the competencies required for a role? Okay. And then we will come to assessing them in a person. So we are coming to another concept called a competency dictionary. What is it? Dictionary. So as the word suggests, dictionary, why do you use a dictionary? Typically when you go to these days, nobody uses dictionary that I know. They just go to Google and search and ask for a meaning, but that's also a dictionary. Why do you go to a dictionary? What does the
Find out the meaning. Find out the meaning.
It gives you a meaning. It has a list of words, glossary, and I will say, hey, what is the meaning of this? So it gives you a meaning, right? Simple. So just like that, when I say competency dictionary, that means what? It gives you the
The
meaning of
set
that
of-
competency. Are you getting me? Now, I will list out competencies, but I won't give a meaning for that.
Meaning of-
I won't give levels, proficiency levels for that. What are the behaviors required? Then how will I know if I have to hire a transformational leader or an HROD consultant? You have given me a list of competencies, but what level are they required? What is the meaning of that? How will I know then? So every organization will have a competency dictionary. Okay? Now, competency dictionary is very, very specific to the organization. Means, supposing if you are working in an IT organization, your company, it is very specific to that organization. Why? The meaning of competency will differ. It is contextual. For example, if I were to actually use a competency like customer orientation, now Shamir is working in, I can, Shamir or Prashant, familiar with IT, no? And I want Kalyana, somebody in manufacturing. Customer orientation. Say, for example, what will be the meaning of customer orientation in a service organization? Typically, that means
To
I
understand
have
the
to
needs
go
of the
out of
customer.
my way
Yeah.
to
Understand the
inquire,
customer
right?
needs, yeah.
And, the comfort levels, the difficulty of customers, in a complex, depending on the kind of services you are giving, it will matter more, right? It will
Yeah.
matter more. So the ownership of that guy who has to do customer care or customer orientation will be very high. As opposed to think of somebody who's in a manufacturing organization. Will the meaning of customer orientation differ?
Yes.
Yes, because they're not dealing
Typically,
with
in a
direct
manufacturing
customers.
organization, what happens? You are you will go and buy in a, say, maybe Ford company, or you will go to what is it? Honda City. You are a customer. What will that customer care guy will do? He will only give you that realistic, picture of what part is there, what is there. Are you seeing the difference between a service organization and a manufacturing organization for a simple competency like customer orientation? Are you getting me? So what I'm trying to emphasize is that don't think, okay, fine, I will just cut, copy, paste. Internet में बहुत सारे competencies मिल जाएंगे, हम उसको cut, copy, paste कर किसमें डाल देंगे? At best, you can use it like, little help of going
Right.
to the same industry. Same IT industry, or because even the scale, just like when we do market survey, compensation survey, the scale, size, and the nature of industry matters. I can't be paying for a project manager who is doing only 2 projects in an IT company, same salary, as opposed to somebody who is doing 30 projects, right? And if I'm going to compare myself with the guy who's doing 30 projects and say, hey, why is my salary so less? Am I comparing rightly? No, no. Or an HR manager who's actually HR head for, say, 100 crore company and will compare his salary with a 1,000 crore company. Will it be? Because the scales, the scope, the responsibility, the competences difference will be there. Are you getting
Domain
that?
also. Yeah. Domain also, like industry also.
Yeah, industry. So the first and the foremost I said is domain. So you have to understand the context of competency dictionary. Very, very contextual, very specific to the organization. At best, you can compare it with similar industries to take some kind of a, so that you don't start from the plain drawing board. Okay. Then what do? You will then cluster them. Simply, what is clustering? Nothing but categorization. What is categorization? You will look at, do I need to make, functional competencies or core competencies? So you're going to categorize them. Or maybe you are looking at, say, for example, one category in functional, say, okay, fine, I have to look at, I'm creating a dictionary for HR, right? So you will look at the entire HR department, what kind of competencies are required. Okay, so typically in a competency dictionary, you will look at all the competencies of what are required by the HR department. Okay, now when you look at HR department, now some of the then comes what? Can I give different names? For example, say initiativeness. Will it have, you have to also write, okay, fine, initiative. Then how will employees understand? Do I have a couple of other names by which this competency is also called? Okay, that's first thing. Then you have to look at then proficiency level. For example, an HR head might need understanding or business acumen. Okay, maybe to a greater proficiency. Proficiency is nothing but intensity. But an HR manager might need that level at a lower level. So what are you then understanding? You are saying, hey, what are the proficiency levels? I hope you are understanding what are proficiency levels. Proficiency levels are nothing but intensity of that competency required
by the person.
So when I say level 1 to level 4, level 1 could be lowest and level 4 could be highest. Is this point very clear? I'll show you an example of, first I want to give you a little. Okay. Now that
even communication skills.
Okay. See, typically how will it look like competency dictionary? Say for example, interactive communication. Okay. For example, this is a competency required. I have to first of all define in the context of the organization, what is this interactive communication? Okay, because everybody has to understand, no, it's a dictionary. So because you should not understand it differently and I should not understand it differently. So that everybody is on the same page of understanding, I will first of all write this interactive communication in the context of the organization. What is the definition? Like for example, this is an image we picked up. Listening to others and communicating articulately, fostering open communication. Okay, so this is what what we meant by this competency, interactive communication. Now, maybe for this X organization, this is what it is. Maybe for Y organization, it could be different a little. Maybe open communication is not there so much, accepting, just listening and communicating articulately, because they are a very rigid and autocratic organization. Okay, so depending on the culture of the organization also, you are going to elaborate and write the definition. Are you clear about this? Any questions here?
Fine, understood.
Then you are looking at what are the levels. Levels are nothing but intensity. That means highest level 5 is always the highest and level 1 the lowest. At the lowest level, I want a person to just listen and clearly present information. But at highest level, I want him to communicate strategically. Okay. But then maybe level 1 is needed at a manager level, deputy manager level. Level 5 is needed for a HR head, etc. Okay. Having said that, but hey, ultimately in a competency dictionary, if I have to understand nicely and if I have to understand the same common language, I have to know what behavior he has to exhibit. So therefore, we need to write what I call it as behavior indicators. So when he has to listen and clearly present information, what are the indicators of behavior? Are you with me now? I presented you with another, because for example, you are just a manager HR and you need a level 1 and you are interviewing Prashant for this. He has to be at that level 1 or level 2, listens and clear. Threshold is listen and clearly present information. What are the behaviors thrown up for level 1? What are the behaviors thrown up for level 2? Got it? So I can I can still hire him if he's at level 3, level 4. But if he is not at a threshold, I can't hire him. Because threshold is a minimal behavior. Got it?
Okay.
Because the threshold is minimal, where I will take him. I'll take him at a less salary also, and I will train him. Are you getting me? Are you getting that?
Yes.
So
Yes,
don't
yes,
look at
yes.
competency as an isolated function and don't look at compensation as an isolated function. Let me tell you that to have a great HR or AI, you have to have all your functions integrated. That's how you integrate compensation. Sometimes what we will say, hey, I don't want plug and play kind of a guy. Yeah, readiness 100, I don't want. I will take 60%, 70% readiness guy, pay him less salary, and then train him up. Maybe he will also be retained in the company for longer time. If I get a full plug and play 100% readiness guy, I have to pay him at a midpoint salary or maybe more than that. And he may not even stay for a year or two more. Are you getting me?
Yeah, and they also don't get challenging situations. Like 70% fit guy will have some scalable challenges, like 30% of the
Exactly.
job to
Then you will
learn.
actually look at what are your policies with respect to hiring, your comp ratios. Would you like to be just at 80% comp ratio? That's comp ratio in the sense means we use typically when you have to decide on a salary. So
Average
that
salary
comp
of a
ratio of
bank.
80% or 90% comp ratio is dependent on, hey, primarily in my dictionary, what is the threshold? Because if I go below the threshold, that means he's useless. Yeah, I can't train him for longer time. So your threshold and differentiating competencies also help you here by establishing and identifying behavioral indicators for your proficiency levels. Is this very clear? Huh?
Okay.
We will work on this as examples. We will work on absolute case studies with small cases, in the sense where you will be working out right from mapping competencies for a role to assessment center and also doing a BI. Okay? So any questions, guys, so that you are clear about what we talked.
Yes, ma'am, this is Swati. I have a question here. So when we are talking about, say, level 2, we want to hire somebody who has satisfies those behaviors at level 2. So are we saying that at level 2 subsumes level 1 behaviors?
See, typically what happens when we are doing something called an exercise, some of you have done competency mapping. Okay. So what is competency mapping? That means you are mapping competencies for every role in your organization. Okay. So when you're doing that, you will do it for role, function level, organization level. Now, when you have that, you will also prepare a dictionary like this, competency dictionary. Okay. Unfortunately, like Prashant says, the recruitment people don't want to take the pains of saying that, hey, if I'm recruiting for a production manager, say, what are the competencies required and what is it in my competency dictionary? What are the levels which are prescribed for this role? Because in a dictionary, you'll have level 1 to level 5. But they will also say for production manager, say interactive communication, threshold is level 2. So if they have said threshold is level 2, you find that this guy is level 1. Now, what does it mean level 2 and level 1 and level 2? That means these are behaviors. At level 1, what is the behavior? Listen, pays attention, actively, objectively, or come like this. Level 2 will be a little higher. So if I have got your question right, so if production manager, they have said level 2 is a threshold, then you find that this guy is not here, but he's at level 1. So obviously you can't hire him.
No. So my question is that when I'm looking for somebody, I have a interviewee, and I see that the competency behaviors or the actions on level 2 are satisfied by this candidate. That means, or when I have to look at this dictionary, that means I'm assuming that he or she also satisfies the behaviors at level 1.
Oh yes, absolutely. It is automatic because level 1 is lower
Basic,
than level 2.
yeah.
See the behaviors. They are lower than the level 2.
Right. That was my question.
Yeah. The intensity. You know what is intensity, no? The intensity will always be getting higher and higher when you go to level 5. But level 1 will be the least. Okay?
Understood.
Yeah, but when it
Thank you.
comes to, don't go by my saying that when it comes to hiring that you are just going to look at interactive design, that's it. No, you're going to collect data for all the competencies, then you will create a matrix and then you will take a call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but just for interactive
Sure.
communication. So if this is the threshold, you'll say, hey, he performed at level 2, which goes by the threshold.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Guys, any questions further? Anything on competencies, anything on dictionary? Okay, just to wrap up. So I said competency is very important. I told you because one significant aspect about competency is that it creates that causal relationship. Because of this characteristic of causal, means causes effect, it becomes very critical, and also it predicts superior performance. Now, when we do competency mapping for every role, so we do competency mapping for every role because it can then predict superior performance. You may be hiring people, but if they don't have right competencies, then you are actually paying them the wage cost, but ultimately they are not going to perform because they don't have the right kind of competencies. So if you don't hire with the right kind of competencies, then finding out the gaps, it takes a long time to train them up, because some may be trainable, some may not be trainable. Like for example, you hire a counselor with PhD, etc., with 10 years of experience, but he lacks that
Empathy.
key core competency, which is empathy. Can you train a person in empathy? You can't train a person in empathy. You have to test whether that person has empathy. Now, empathy is a skill, but how will it be tested? Why? Actually, because empathy has listening, right? Lot many things. So therefore, you have to actually ensure that every role, like somebody said, no, but no, nobody's performing. No, it's very, very critical. At least 2 to 3 critical competencies which are required by the role, not laundry list of competencies, because when you are hiring, you don't want to look at 10 or 15 competencies. At best 4 to 5 critical competencies. That's how then you can actually select or reject the right person. And you may say competencies, you will give 4 or 5 competencies, but if I don't have what levels, if I don't have indicators, that means behaviors there, how will I test for them? Means what, when I ask a question, how will I know whether he is responding as per level 1 or level 2 or level 3? So when you are creating the dictionary, all these behavioral indicators are very, very important. And as we go through the sessions, you are going to learn for every role, when you do a competency framework, how to even write those behavioral indicators, okay? How to use a scale, whether to use a Likert scale, what kind of a scale you need to use, you'll be learning them. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, a quick question. Empathy is a skill or is it a behavior? Showing empathy is a behavior or a skill?
You tell me.
Or plain empathy, not showing empathy. Empathy.
Can you see empathy? Simple question. I give you one straight answer for you. Can you see empathy?
No.
You can't see empathy. It's a skill. No. But how will you test for empathy? By supposing you are telling me something and I'm all the time asking you something without even listening properly to you. Before itself, I'm asking 100 questions. So one of the behaviors is listening. Right? Then asking the right questions. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So that's why behavior is asking questions is also a behavior. Now, are you very clear, Prashant?
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, so if you have no questions, we'll wrap up the session, guys. And I think I have a real bright batch and who are challenging and questioning and participating. And that makes the sessions much more interesting and value add. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Feel free. Even you can text me
All of
questions,
us.
feel free. And whatever is left of Sunday, you can enjoy your Netflix. Okay. Take
You
care,
too,
guys.
ma'am.
Okay.
You too,
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're on mute, Vilma ji. You're on mute.
Okay. So after this session, we'll send you an assignment based on
Okay.
your today's learning.
Okay.
So that you can do it and submit it by end of the week.
Okay.
And then we will have a discussion
Mhm.
on that before we move to the next session.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Second, we'll be sending you the reading materials for session 2. So
Okay.
please glance through it at least, so that you can catch up with the things faster. One
Fine,
thing.
ma'am. Fine.
And Nirmala ji has been really nice to give so much of insight. The clarity part, which,
Clarity part. Yeah.
that is what is important. Now you can understand by and the differentiate between the
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
competencies. So that is important. So thank you all, and
Thank you too.
wish you
Yeah.
a very, very nice evening again. Sunday
Okay.
evening. Look,
You
it's
too.
already
You too.
here.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.